Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a fascinating problem that combines sorting and a bit of greedy thinking, non-overlapping intervals, problem number 435. This problem is part of Blind 75, a curated list of essential coding interview questions. You can find the full list linked in the description below. Be sure to check it out. Now to the problem. In this problem, we are given an array of intervals where each interval is defined by its start and end times, and some of these intervals may overlap, causing conflicts. And our goal is to return the minimum number of intervals we need to remove to make the rest of the intervals non-overlapping. A crucial point, intervals that only touch at their endpoints, like intervals from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, are considered non-overlapping. Let's look at an example to make this crystal clear. Here we have 4 intervals: 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 1 to 3. And visually, we can see that intervals from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4 are all non-overlapping with each other as they just touch. However, interval from 1 to 3 overlaps with both intervals from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. To achieve a set of non-overlapping intervals, we could remove the interval from 1 to 3. Then, the remaining intervals are all non-overlapping, and this requires just one removal. But let's check, can we do better? If we were to keep this interval from 1 to 3, we would then need to remove both intervals from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 to resolve its overlaps, resulting in 2 removals. Since we are looking for the minimum removals, 1 is already the correct answer. Now, let's look at example 2, which is simpler. Here, all 3 intervals are identical and completely overlap. To make them non-overlapping, we must keep only one interval from 1 to 2 and remove the other 2. Thus, the minimum number of intervals to remove is 2. Now, in terms of solution, a brute force or naive way would be to examine every possible combination of intervals. For n intervals, there are 2 to the power of n possible subsets. For our example with 4 intervals, that's 16 subsets. And from these, we need to find the largest subset where intervals don't overlap, and checking if a single subset is non-overlapping or not is exactly what we did in meeting rooms 1 problem, where we were checking can a person attend all these meetings. And here that largest subset is following, which has size m equal to 3. And since we want to minimize removals, we simply subtract this maximum size m from the total number of intervals n, which here is 4 minus 3 equal to 1 removal. So this approach works but is highly inefficient with an exponential complexity of O of 2 to the power of n into n log n, as it takes O of 2 to the power of n to generate all possible subsets and then O of n log n to sort each subset to check if it is non-overlapping. So how do we move past this brute force method? Generally, in interval problems, it is a good idea to visualize them. And notice here that the intervals have some sort of order. So programmatically, we can sort these intervals by their start times or their end times. Let's try sorting by the start times and label these intervals as A, B, C and D. And now we can see that the intervals are in order, and notice that the overlapping intervals are next to each other. For example, here we see intervals A and B coming together, or we can see if the intervals A and C don't overlap, then all the intervals on the right of C won't overlap with A either. So this way, if we loop through these sorted intervals, we can easily detect overlap by comparing just two adjacent intervals. And how do we know that there is an overlap? It is simple. Let's say this is the current interval and this one is the previous one. Then we can have a collision if the current interval start time is less than the previous interval's end time. Here, for example, intervals A and B indeed overlap because B's start time 1 is before A's end time 2, and when an overlap occurs, we must remove one of them to satisfy the non-overlapping condition which this problem requires, and we have a choice to make. We can only keep one of these intervals. Suppose these are the two intervals, then which one should we keep? Do we keep the one that ends later or the one that ends earlier? And the greedy choice is to keep the one that ends earlier. Why? Because the intervals that finish sooner gets out of the way quicker, leaving the timeline open for the future intervals. The one that ends later hogs the timeline and is more likely to collide with subsequent intervals. Now let's see this in action. We'll initialize the counter to 0 to track the number of removals, and the first interval we see is A from 1 to 2, and since there is no previous interval to compare it with yet, we keep it and we note its end time. Here end is equal to 2, and conceptually this is the previous interval that we will compare against the future interval's start time to avoid overlaps. Next interval we see is B. It starts at 1, which is less than the previous interval's end, and hence there is an overlap. So we have to remove one of these overlapping intervals, and which one that should be? Since interval A ends at 2 and interval B ends at 3, we will keep the interval which ends earlier, which is A in this case. This minimizes chance of future conflict. So we remove B and increment the removal counter to 1, and the end time for the previous interval remains 2 from interval A, and we proceed further to interval C. It starts at 2, which is equal to previous interval's end, equal to 2 as well, and since touching is allowed, so this is not an overlap, and we keep C and update our end time to 3 from C's end time. And finally, we move to interval D. It starts at 3, which is equal to our previous end, and again there is no overlap, so we keep D as well and update the end time to 4. And now since we have processed all the intervals, we are done, and the total number of removals during the iteration was 1, which we will return as the answer. Now, the time complexity of this approach is O of n log n due to the sorting step. The subsequent linear scan took O of n time, and the space complexity depends on the sorting implementation. For Java, sorting object arrays typically uses timsort and requires O of n space. For primitive arrays like integer arrays in Java, it uses dual pivot quicksort, which takes O of log n auxiliary space. Python's timsort also takes O of n space, and in C++ introsort is used, which takes O of log n space. And note that we can also solve this problem by sorting by n times. I have covered that logic in the code link in the description below. And both approaches are optimal with a time complexity of O of n log n. Here is a quick code walkthrough of the algorithm we just talked about, with Java code on the left and Python on right. We begin by sorting intervals array based on their start times, which is stored at index 0 in the interval. Next, we initialize a few variables, like the previous end is initialized with the end time of the first interval. This variable tracks the end time of the last interval we decided to keep. We also set our answer, which is removed count, to 0. Now we loop through the intervals starting from the second one. Inside the loop, we check for an overlap or conflict, which occurs when the current interval's start time at index 0 is less than the previous end time. If there is a conflict, we must remove one of them to resolve it, and we also increment the removed count. And to minimize future conflicts, we want to keep the interval that ends earlier. So we update previous end to be the minimum of the two end times. However, if there is no overlap, we simply keep the current interval and update previous end to its end time, making it our new reference point. And once the loop is over, we can return the removed count. So that's all for this video. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit from it. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss an update. Your support helps me create more content like this. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.